So why are we back here again, Stephen?
Because someone bit off more they could chew.
Rubbish. Some one or some two? Hey, we're back! We're casting ant nests, but we've left the furnaces at home. Alright, come down this way. And this is what we're going to be casting today. Bull ants. So this is a brevinoda nest which has been disturbed, unfortunately, but I'm going to try it anyway. And right next door to it, right next door to it, we have another little sucker. Here we go. Some more bull ants. I forget what they're. Myrmecia N something or other. So yeah, we're going to try both of these nests.
How hot's that? 124.
Hi guys, we want some action.
Yeah. Plenty of action down here.
Good. Holy you pumped all that resin down there.
Yeah, all gone.
That's about 30 litres we put down the hole. We only did one hole.
That is one big sucker of a hole.
And it's not full.
And it's not full yet. You, what, all that resin's gone down there?
No.
And again and again.
And again and again and again.
With 30
Nearly 30 litres of resin in the hole.
It's So, see those 2 drums on the back of the truck?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
empty one of them and half of another one.
That's awesome.
That's
A lot of
Yes.
resin.
That's a lot
that's
of
a
resin.
lot of.
You know what the next challenge is?
You're getting out.
Getting it out of the ground.
It's going to be tangled up in those roots. I hope you got a D6 to get them out.
No, we've dealt with that before.
Yep, well, that's what the trailer's for.
Yep.
You guys have got a real
Looks like
setup here, haven't you?
Mate, we've been doing this for years.
I dare you pour some down the other hole.
No.
We really actually want to cast that one. So we'll do that one in aluminium when we're here next time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can excavate them both at the same time. I love the stones.
Yeah, they're really good, eh?
Chris, any comments?
Well, good thing we cast the resin when we did, because in 8 weeks these guys are connected into the resin casting.
Yeah, up to the resin casting.
Right up to the resin casting.
It's just amazing. I'm really looking forward to getting the resin out now and see what we can find. It's gonna be good.
But
this is disappointing. We've been here for the whole day trying to wash that out, excavate it out, and it's gone nowhere. We got half of it out.
that's not nowhere.
Eh,
That's half. I would say that's more like 2/3. But at least half of it's still in the nest,
yes.
in the hole, in the ground. Whatever. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've been digging out other things. You've been digging out that all day. The Ants have won this round. The weekend is over.
And we got to get back to our normal lives.
But we'll be back. Yeah. So why are we back here again, Stephen?
Because someone bit off more they could chew.
Rubbish. Someone or some two?
Someone.
Some two.
Someone was warning the entire time about how we didn't have time to do
That was
all
me.
of this. Oh yeah. It was just, we can do this one.
And those two. And that one. Yeah? No.
That was basically the conversation. Are you sure we have time, Chris? I think I remember someone saying to you.
Well, as far as I recall, the reason why we came back is because somebody didn't finish digging out the resin casting.
Yeah,
that's right. Why are we back here?
Because someone didn't finish pulling out the other aluminium one.
Oh, what rubbish!
technical definitions. So I've got two more to find before I can release it. And then we'll have this one out of the ground. And see how we go.
What was that?
That half chamber for that entrance.
Which half chamber?
The third entrance. The one that didn't fill. Hey! It's out of the ground!
Muffins.
Oh man. See, here's another one that went back up.
Yeah. That's all right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jeez.
Here is our world's largest ginseng.
Stephen. Well, this was a thing.
Here's the thing.
Is a thing. Yeah.
This is our resin casting. We finally got it out of the hole.
And what a hole it is.
I can attest to the many hours of endurance, persistence, perseverance.
Insanity.
Thanks, Bill.
That was going to come afterwards.
Yeah, Bill.
Oh mate, such a hole.
It is such a hole. So, the next task is to get the loose dirt off of it.
So
and then we need to clean it.
That's the hard job.
That is the hard job. This is going to be a lot of hours.
We're up to about 20 hours and just getting in this hole. And I'm estimating a couple of 100 hours to try and clean off the embedded dirt off the surface.
This is... Whose idea was this?
That would be yours, Chris.
Rubbish.
On the nose.
Oh, good shot.
People are incorrigible.
All right.
Now we need to get very technical. You know, this is the decomposed argillaceous soil from
Okay, that's enough,
the
guys.
overlying Narrowline fernvale beds. And here we have a semi-consolidated mass, but through the persistence of these guys and their highly sophisticated equipment, they will laser jet blast it all off and vaporize it into a plasma, and you'll be left with this perfect mold unseen before by human eyes.
Good job, Bill.
That's it, Bill.
We'll employ you again. Do you reckon you can say that again without the kids screaming?
Bull only comes once.
In my experience, that's not true.
Alright, while I clean off the loose dirt, let us talk about the next steps for this project.
The thing that is immediately obvious is that this section of the nest is far heavier than 20 kilograms. This is due to the extra resin-cemented dirt on the surface. The end goal of this casting is to have a cast that has dirt on the bottom of the chambers and tunnels and polished transparent resin on the tops so you can see all of the inner workings of the nest. The problem is, how can we remove this dirt without damaging these internal features? And how thick is the cemented dirt anyway? And how do we make the top surfaces fully transparent so we can clearly see through them? And lastly, how do we do all this as cheaply as possible without spending a decade doing it? The first step we took was to soak the smaller pieces for a week to see how much dirt would come off. There was more loose dirt than I thought there would be, but still significant amounts of cemented dirt remained on the surfaces. Next we tried soda blasting, because soda is softer than sand. While soda blasting is able to remove the dirt, the problem is that the small stones are very hard, and the soda cuts around them and into the resin. This removes the resin much faster as the resin is much softer and creates a curtaining effect. The resulting surface is very uneven and the soda blasting is not controllable as a consequence, eating too far into the tunnels and chambers. This technique is only effective on thin layers of dirt, which then yields a clean resin surface, but it is neither smooth nor transparent. So we went back to the pressure washers again. We tried two different options with the pressure washers. First up was a narrower jet, which worked well on the smaller pieces from the side of the nest that was not filled completely, but it did not work on the large piece of the nest. So we got a bigger, more powerful pressure washer, and as we were moving the casting, we snapped it. Looking at the break gives us some important information. Firstly, the cemented dirt is about 2 centimeters thick. You can also see veins of resin running through the cracks in the dirt. Secondly, the break happened through an ant, and you can see half the body here and the other half here. You can also see the place where the head was embedded into the resin, leaving a head-shaped depression behind. These ants have very tough heads, and not surprisingly, when you look like this. So ants weaken the resin. Thirdly, we can see some interesting material here which is not part of the dirt structure, and can only be something introduced by the ants. And lastly, we will not be cleaning this part of the nest. The bigger, more powerful pressure washer was too powerful, and damaged the underlying resin while removing the dirt. The smaller pieces did have a slight difference in casting technique, and we were able to clean a number of them back to the resin. These pieces then became our experimental pieces for polishing trials. The technique we have settled on is to make the top surface smooth with a die grinder, and then use sandpaper to make finer scratches. Finally, we used a wax polish to bring the surface to clear and transparent. And of course, a final wash to remove the waxy polish. Given the size of the nest and its shattered state, we've decided to learn from this experience rather than continue on. It's not a failure if you learn something, right? But not only did we learn about how to cast in resin, we also learned something about these ants as well. Starting with this piece from the very bottom of the nest, we can see that the ants have taken bark and dirt from other stratas and placed them in the very bottom corners of the nest. This is present in other chambers of the nest as well, at different depths. We also found a chamber with many ants that seem to be resting. At the bottom of the nest, we can see the ants organizing larvae into different sizes or ages, with distinct areas of small, medium, and large larvae with very little mixing. Remember that the ants are doing all of this underground in the dark. In the future, we want to have another attempt at casting in resin, but it seems that Australia is either on fire or drowning, both of which take a toll on ant populations and prevent casting. So until we cast again, please subscribe, like, and share the video. If you have any suggestions for us, please leave them in the comment section.